Welcome everybody to another How Lou Sees It review. Today I am taking a look at Camping Fluxx, the latest in the Fluxx line of games. Very, very fitting because just this last year I went camping for the first time in over a decade. And I did a lot of camping growing up and I love the outdoors, and so it was really kind of nerve-wracking a little bit to go camping for the first time, but also really fun and enjoyable to get out there. So let's go ahead and show you the cards that come in Camping Fluxx and talk about my thoughts on this specific version. If you check out my channel for the rest of the videos, I have reviewed quite a few other Fluxx versions. But the latest is all about camping. Of course, in the box, you'll also find a little booklet that will go over some of the Looney Labs games. This is published by Looney Labs, and this copy was provided free of charge to me for purposes of this review. So, yes, I love Fluxx. The general kind of consensus of Fluxx, it's a very kind of crazy, chaotic type game, but very fun. Usually my only downside as far as Fluxx, the gameplay kind of goes, is that sometimes the games can drag on. I've not had this happen with this version as of yet, but it just really depends on the card draws and things like that. I think with the Fluxx games, all these action cards and new goal cards and different things really change the play and feel of the game throughout. There's a lot of variation. So, go ahead and check out, if you've never checked out Fluxx before, some of these other reviews. There's really themes for just about everybody. One of my favorite versions is actually Math Fluxx, but there are so many different versions out there now. It's really quite amazing. And of course, there are other lines of games as well. So let's get into Camping Fluxx. The rules here are very similar from Fluxx game to Fluxx game. They have been including these solo rules for Fluxx that you can do, and taking out certain cards that wouldn't make sense in this one, but very easy to understand. They also have some links to some videos how to play as well, which is really nice. Let's go ahead and talk about the cards and the card quality. They're pretty consistent from Fluxx game to Fluxx game as far as the card quality. They are a little bit thinner than I normally like. They don't really have like the nice linen finish, but they're also not like a terrible quality card. They're easy to shuffle and things like that. What's really nice as well is I generally don't like to sleeve my cards, and I think the design of the back of the Fluxx cards are actually pretty great, because with dark back cards, a lot of times you get nicks or different things on the edges, which can make it very easy, like, oh, that's that card, right? But what they did is they have this dark, but then it goes to white, so you avoid some of that issues. All right, now the real reason you're probably here is to take a look at these cards and get an idea of the feel. Are there different mechanics, new things in this version? As all they do, they have the basic rules of Fluxx. You draw a card, play a card, trying to achieve one of these goal cards that change throughout the game as well, having certain keeper cards in front of you that match, sometimes creeper cards, etc. So, quick overview before we dive into some of the specifics of Camping Fluxx is that this Fluxx only has 2 creeper cards, rain and mosquitoes. Now, of course, these are perfectly themed, I think, for camping Fluxx, because nothing really quite makes camping miserable than rain and mosquitoes, right? So rain and mosquitoes, great. There's not a ton of creeper cards, and I think it's very thematic. I do wish that there was one more creeper card, and I think having like bears or something like that. There is a lot of, we're going to look at the keeper cards and the goal cards, with like s'mores and hot dogs and things like that. And the other thing with camping is wildlife and watching out for bears and things like that. So I do wish maybe that there was one, there was, I think, a missed opportunity to have a bear card as a creeper card as well. Now, as in this Fluxx, camping Fluxx, as in some of the others, there are some goal cards that actually require these, and some keeper cards that help protect you from these. So in the general game of Fluxx, right, creeper cards, when you draw them, you have to immediately play them in front of you, and you cannot win if you have this card in front of you unless the gold card says otherwise. Also, I think thematically really nice here with the rain is if the campfire is in play, discard it when this is in play. So the rain comes out, puts out the campfire, unfortunately. Just works really, really well. So I think the creeper cards that they have included work really well thematically, and with the keepers and the goals, it worked out really, really well. I just wish they had a bear as well included. But, so you had 2 creepers. Take a look at that. We'll take a quicker look at this, but there are 23 keeper cards in this deck. We'll take a closer look at some of those. There are 34 goal cards. We'll take a closer look at those here in a second. There are 23 new rule cards, and we'll highlight some of my favorites here in a second. And 17 action cards. So 2 creepers, 23 keepers, 34 goals, 23 new rules, and 17 actions. So the keeper cards, we have flashlight, canoe. The keeper of the camper here is nice because neither rain nor mosquitoes will prevent you from winning, right? You have a nice camper, keep the rain and the mosquitoes out. Matches, we have bug spray to get rid of those mosquitoes. It will make it so that mosquitoes don't prevent you from winning. We have hot dogs, and we have some nature here. We have the woods, we have trail mix for those hikes, and we have s'mores ingredients of marshmallows and graham crackers. There's a chocolate in here somewhere, a canteen, sharp stick, rain gear, which will keep the rain from preventing you from winning. Pocket knife, backpack. You can ignore any hand limits with the backpack. Tent is also good to keep that rain and mosquitoes out. We have the river, chocolate, sleeping bag, campfire, mountains, a guitar, and paddles. So I really like the keeper cards. I think thematically they hit a lot of those camping elements. So really great there. Goals here, we have at the campsite. There's, of course, some that play on the canoe and the paddles here. Some specific things. Campfire, you got campfire and matches. You have into the wild with some of those areas. Only you can prevent forest fires. It's one of my favorites. It's not camping unless you spend the night. There's the up the creek without a paddle. You probably could have guessed that was coming, right? Burnt marshmallows. Some fun sets here for the goals. Be prepared. Here's one that actually requires the rain and either the tent or the camper. Sleeping under the stars. So this is kind of unique with sleeping bag plus neither tent nor camper in play anywhere. So that one's kind of a unique one there. Let's see some of the others. I'm getting thirsty. So some fun ones there. There's actually 2 of these, and I was like, oh, it's interesting. There's slightly different prints on them. So I don't know if that was supposed to be there or not. I'll have to ask them on that one. But some really fun gold cards. This one is a little bit unique as well. And then this one here is another gold card which requires you to have the creeper of mosquitoes and the tent. So you got the one for the rain and one for the tent. Getting into some of the rules here. So the new rules here, I like this one. I love camping. It takes incentive. When this is in play, the creepers do not prevent you from winning, whether it's raining or mosquitoes, it doesn't matter. You love camping, right? So nothing's going to prevent you from having a good time. You have your general hand limit and play and draw rules that are often found, either goal mills, those are very common. Some keeper limit cards here. But this is one of my favorites. So mystery plays just a fun one that you draw and play a card. That's often found in some of the others. Recycling, I like these ones where it allows you to kind of discard a keeper card to draw 3 new cards, especially when the draws are, light. Camping bonus here. The players who have most recently been camping get a bonus of drawing and playing. That was fun because me and my daughter were the ones most recently, so we both got to have that bonus. And there's the ghost story and a double agenda. So there's really 2 unique rules in here that I think are really fun. Number 1 is the ghost stories free action. And once during turn, if you name a famous scary character, which no one has named yet during this game, you get to draw an extra card. If needed, briefly tell the story to remind everyone of their fame, right? So very fun little addition there for a bonus draw. This is my favorite new rule in the set, though, because it is the scout bonus. And if you are or ever were a scout, you get to draw an extra card during your turn. And you get to draw 2 extra cards if you're an Eagle Scout or a Gold Award recipient. I am an Eagle Scout, and so I really do enjoy this one. Don't get to really use my Eagle Scout accomplishment for much, but in Camping Fluxx, I get to draw 2 extra cards. So that was fun. Some fun actions, normal actions. You get to trash something, mix things up. Very good. This one's a little bit thematic here with the fishing trip. If you have the river in play, you get to take a card at random from every other player's hand. You get to go fishing a little bit, right? So I liked that action. You had a fireside potluck with the food items. So that was also a fun one. It's all used up. All of the following keepers must be immediately discarded. I like this one as well. Very thematic. You run out of water or bug spray or batteries died in your flashlight. You ran out of matches. Steal something. Here they do talk about bear trouble. With the exception of the person who has the campfire, all players must immediately discard all keepers of food items. So they did incorporate the bear in the action, as an action card. I think it would have been cool to have a keeper or a creeper card, but they did include that, so I'll give them that. Let's see, what should I pack? To trash the new rules, trade hands, let's simplify. You got 4 directions. So yeah, those are some of the actions that I've really enjoyed in Camping Fluxx as well. So that being said, Camping Fluxx is the newest line. If you like camping, this may be the version for you. We've really enjoyed it. I think they did a really great job with the theming of everything. Some really nice highlights to, the scouting and, of course, what makes camping miserable. Rain and mosquitoes and bears. The fishing trip, I think, is a nice touch. they just did a really good job, I think, with the theming on this one. And that is how Lou sees it.